Did Lando Calrissian really betray his friends, or was he just trying to save Cloud City from the Empire? Was it a selfish move, or a tough call made under pressure? Lando Calrissian, former smuggler, gambler, and now the smooth-talking, charismatic administrator of Cloud City. Cloud City is his pride and responsibility, a thriving mining colony with its own autonomy, but one that's still vulnerable to powerful forces like the Empire. This vulnerability is key to understanding Lando's actions later on, as he's forced to balance personal loyalty with his duty to protect his people. When Darth Vader and the Empire show up, Lando is hit with a harsh reality. The Empire demands compliance, and Vader gives him an ultimatum: hand over Han Solo, or Cloud City will pay the price. His deal with Vader, sacrificing Han and the others to save the city, was the only way to protect their independence. But it's not without its moral cost, showing the internal struggle between doing what's practical and staying loyal. At first, his betrayal seems like the practical choice. If he resists the Empire, Cloud City could fall under Imperial occupation. As a leader, Lando feels it's his responsibility to protect his people, even if it means betraying a friend. But he misjudges the Empire's cruelty and their ever-changing demands, realizing too late that cooperating doesn't guarantee safety. Psychologically, Lando's decision shows his struggle to control a situation that's out of his hands. He chooses to protect Cloud City by giving in to Vader's pressure, fearing that defying the Empire would lead to disaster. It's a fear many leaders face, the belief that survival requires making tough, morally questionable choices. But when Vader takes things even further by torturing Han to bait Luke into a trap, Lando realizes he made a huge mistake. His attempt to appease the Empire only makes things worse, teaching him that compromise doesn't always lead to the results you expect. Lando's decision can be understood through a concept called consequentialism, which judges right and wrong based on the outcomes. Faced with Vader's ultimatum, Lando believes betraying Han is the lesser evil if it means saving Cloud City. But is it ever really justified to do something wrong for a greater good? In Lando's case, the answer isn't simple. While it seems reasonable to put Cloud City's survival first, his betrayal doesn't turn out the way he hopes. The Empire doesn't keep its promises, and Lando's actions only create more problems. His betrayal hurts Han, but it also undermines the trust of his people, who now start questioning his leadership. Lando's choice also reflects his emotional struggle. He seeks security by submitting to Vader, avoiding the anxiety of facing a situation that feels impossible. But by doing so, he ends up strengthening the very system he was trying to avoid. This shows that while trying to maintain stability is understandable, compromising your values can lead to consequences you didn't expect. Another issue is Lando's failure to recognize the Empire's manipulative tactics. At first, he thinks cooperating with Vader will protect Cloud City, but Vader's changing demands quickly show him he was wrong. Lando learns that obedience to an authoritarian force doesn't bring safety, it only empowers that force. Lando's decision also highlights a bigger idea: the cost of cooperating with oppressive systems. By working with Vader, Lando avoids direct confrontation, but deepens the Empire's control over Cloud City. This moral compromise doesn't just hurt him, it affects everyone he's trying to protect. Lando's eventual rebellion against the Empire shows that true safety doesn't come from submitting to tyranny, but from resisting it. Lando's betrayal also raises important questions about personal integrity. Trust is crucial in any relationship, whether it's with friends, allies, or followers. By betraying Han, Lando damages his credibility. Even though he's acting under extreme pressure, his actions force us to ask, can betrayal ever be justified if it goes against the values someone claims to stand for? Survival is a natural instinct, but it doesn't always make betrayal right. The consequences of Lando's actions, the guilt, shame, and loss of trust, linger long after the immediate danger has passed. This emotional weight pushes him to seek redemption, not just through words, but through actions that show real leadership and integrity. Ultimately, his journey shows that while survival might explain his decisions, it doesn't excuse the moral cost of betraying a friend. Lando's story doesn't end with his betrayal. Once he realizes how much the Empire had used him, he quickly takes action to make things right. With help from Lobot, he forms a resistance to help Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO escape from the stormtroopers. This shift shows that redemption isn't just about feeling regret. It's about taking responsibility and making real amends for past mistakes. Lando refuses to let his past define him. He leads the charge to take back Cloud City from the Empire, even publicly announcing their occupation and organizing an evacuation. By risking his life to help the rebel cause and correcting his earlier mistake, Lando proves that redemption is earned through decisive action, not just words. His eventual actions show that moral failures can be corrected, and that growth and making things right can ultimately outweigh past wrongs. So, was Lando's betrayal justified? His actions reveal the messy gray areas of morality where survival, leadership, and personal integrity collide. On one hand, his choices are understandable. In a life or death situation, most people would prioritize saving lives over loyalty. But that doesn't erase the moral cost. Betrayal damages trust, and trust is what holds everything together. In the end, Lando's story shows that moral decisions are rarely black and white. Whether his actions were justified depends not just on the situation, but on the long-term consequences of what he did. Lando's eventual redemption proves that while it's easy to falter in the face of impossible choices, it's how someone moves forward that truly defines them.